Hey folks, so this week we're going to start writing our final essay, Essay 4. And remember, this can be on any topic that you want. The big ask for this paper, the big outcome or the big skill is a critical thinking skill. We want to narrow, right? You have to narrow your topic to such an extent that you can get to a new place, right? You can say something new. You can add something to this conversation. And we're just going to continue this week. Last week, right, we narrowed the who, what, where, when, why, or how. And you guys had a lot of great uh, ways that you were narrowing it in the discussion. Check out my um, uh, feedback there on the discussion board. So this week we're just going to keep going with that theme. We're going to keep generating ideas, narrowing. So let's take a look at this week's Canvas calendar. So we have one reading this week. I think it's our longest reading. It's a TV studies reading. Wait, what is TV studies? TV studies is, it's a discipline that analyzes and evaluates TV shows, right? Television media, right? It looks for ideas in TV shows. So this article is on Law and Order, right? Police procedural crime dramas, right? This is a vastly popular mode or genre of TV show, right? So check out that article. It has a lot to say, right? It's making a lot of claims and arguments. It also has a lot of great facts too, right? So it starts with this beta facts, and then it uses that to make some really interesting claims. So check out that. This will be my example this week of how to further narrow and how to generate ideas. So I'll be using that article as the basis. Do you have to write about TV for this article? No. I mean, for this essay, no, right? This is just my example for this week. Okay, so read that, read the questions for critical thinking, and our reading on introduction strategies so you can do the discussion this week. So let's take a look at the discussion this week. Discussion question 1. I ask you to use our critical thinking questions to generate new things to say on your topic. And I'll show you examples of that in a second. So that's question 1. Question 2, summarize that article I just talked about, right? The Law and Order article. How does that article narrow the who, the what, the where, the when, the how, right? This is a great model for how to narrow our topics, right? This article isn't just about TV, right? It's not just about TV shows. It's very specifically focused on crime dramas and the portrayal of police, right? So take a look at that and do that for number 2. Number 3, I want us to start writing our introductions, and I gave us some introduction strategies. So let's go back to number 1, right? I want you guys to use I gave us a list of creative questions, critical thinking questions, higher order thinking questions. So let's take a look at that for a second. And I'll give you some examples of how you should use that for your topic. Okay? So click on questions for critical thinking. You're going to get a list of questions, right? This is great. You want to go beyond factual summary. You want to go beyond, what is factually known about your topic, right? A lot of us are bringing in great sources on the discussion board. And so now we need to do things like, okay, your source has a lot of great ideas, but they sort of have already proven something about your topic. So, now what do you do? What do you say? So you want to go beyond the, excuse me, you want to go beyond the lower level questions of remembering and understanding to these higher level questions, right? Like applying or analyzing. So take your topic and go through these questions with your topic. So here's some examples, right? I'm starting with applying, right? You can make an application claim, right? You want to apply knowledge or ideas or facts that you learned about one thing to a new situation or a new context. So you're going to learn a lot about how police are portrayed on crime drama shows, right? Now, what if we apply that thinking? What if we apply those ideas to a different type of show, or to a show that just came out, right? Which no one has analyzed that show yet because it just came out, right? There's so many TV shows that have just come out, right? So you're going to apply those ideas to a new situation, a new TV show. Right? So what would happen if, right? I'm just going through some of these questions. What would happen if I applied this idea of propaganda, which is propaganda on TV, trying to espouse, really positive portrayals of law enforcement? What would happen if we apply those ideas from crime drama shows, right? Like Law and Order or NCIS or Hawaii Five, right? All those shows. What if we applied all of those ideas to a new show, right? To a kid's show? What would happen if we applied those ideas to a kid's show, right? What is a new example of propaganda in a kid's show, right? How could this article be used to understand how this idea of propaganda is sort of everywhere? It's not just in, R-rated or adult, dramas or crime dramas or police procedurals. It's in all types of shows, from anime to superhero shows to supernatural shows to kids shows, right? So that's me starting with like this fact, right? I learned this fact from this article that we're all going to read together, and then I want to do something new, right? I want to apply that idea to a new situation, a new context, right? So that's me answering some of those questions, right? Now I could move on to the analyzing, right? Why is this idea of propaganda, right, positive portrayal of, law enforcement on kids shows, why is this important? Who cares, right? Why study this? It's important because kids are like sucking up these ideas that we're putting on TV, right? They don't have the cognition yet to be able to critically evaluate, oh, this is TV, right? This is just a TV show, right? Versus an adult show like crime, Law and Order, where people can be like, okay, police don't really solve every crime, right? Like Law and Order is like, they always get their guy, they always solve the case. Well, that's, the police solve about 20% of rape cases, maybe, right? That's just rape cases. We could look at other different types of cases. So, right, Law and Order does not accurately portray law enforcement, the criminal justice system, right? We know that because we're mature. Kids may not know that, right? So this is important because kids don't understand, right, propaganda, right? It's just over their heads and they may believe it, right? So that's part of this discussion, is to go through these questions. Pick one from each category. So you don't have to do all of these, right? Be like, okay, I'm going to do one from applying. I'm going to do one or two from analyzing. I'm going to do one from evaluating. I'm going to do maybe one or two from creating. So do that. That's a big part of this discussion this week. And then the last part of the discussion is you have a reading on introductions. These are different types of introduction strategies, right? So go through these. There's a bunch of different types, right? Find your favorite, right? Do you want to do a counter-claiming introduction, a question raising, claiming centrality, right? So read through these, see what you think. You don't have to love all of these, but find one that you gravitate to, or you think, okay, I like this one. So for example, if I want to do a claiming centrality introduction, you start by, right, summarizing a source that talks about your topic, and then using that to show that, okay, there's a lot of interest in this topic, right? So this is an interesting introduction strategy. It basically says, okay, I'm writing on this, I'm reporting on this because a lot of people are interested in this right now, right? So there's a lot of interest. That's why I'm writing this paper on it. And so this interest level, right, makes it notable, noteworthy. So you should pay attention, right? So it's sort of this interesting justification based on public interest. So I could start my claiming centrality. Recently there's been a lot written on propaganda, or the portrayal of cops on, adult shows, crime dramas, police procedurals. But, right, now I want to add something new. I want to apply these ideas to kids shows like PJ Masks or Paw Patrol, there's a dozen kid shows I could apply this idea to, right? They, they act like little superheroes. They act like little cops, little juries. Um, so, right, that's me using uh, the claiming centrality introduction style. Or, right, I could start with a counter claiming, right? I could start by going against the source, right? So there's so many ways to work here. Pick your favorite one. That's going to be your introduction for Essay 4. Okay, folks. So, sorry, my dogs are playing in the background. Guys, can you stop? Okay, so that is this week. Everything's due by Sunday night. I can't wait to hear your ideas. So we'll start basically writing our Essay 4 this week with the introduction. And next week we'll have the first draft due. And then our final week, that's it, the final draft of this paper. Okay, folks, email me if you have any questions. I'm always available to meet over Zoom or to give you lots of help through email. You decide. Thank you.